Okay, so Hare Krishna everyone. So very happy to see all of you on the screen. And first of all, congratulations that you have begun this new journey of Bhakti Shastri. Hmm. So it's a very important thing. Prabhupada wanted us to always have scriptures in mind. So once I was hearing from His Grace Adi Shambhu, he told a very important thing, that he told that when the knowledge is fresh, then you can act on it. So therefore, regular reading is very important. Connection to Shastras. When the knowledge is fresh, you can act. If the knowledge becomes stale, then Maya will overpower you. So that is a very important lesson which Adishambhu gave me that time. Another thing which Raishambhu once told me was, try to be always be in touch with spiritual sound vibration. Somehow or other, through reading, through hearing, or something, by sharing, try to be in the touch of spiritual sound vibration, because the spiritual sound vibration has the quality of purifying us. So it purifies. In whatever way it goes in, it purifies. Whether you are in bathroom, in kitchen, going on road or something, if some spiritual sound vibration is in touch, then you'll always be getting purification. So that is one thing which I learned from this great Ashram Guru also. So it's a best way to utilize our morning time on Monday and Tuesday to hear something from Bhagavad Gita. Then we will have Ishopanishad, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. These four books Prabhupada chose to have Bhakti Shastri on this. So an Acharya has told us, so reading these books will certainly enliven us. Okay, so today we are going to see norms, and I was also told to speak on introduction of Bhagavad Gita. Let me see how much I will cover. Otherwise, next Monday, then we'll cover the introduction as well. Okay. So first of all, I will be speaking on the norms of this Bhakti Shastri course, how this Bhakti Shastri course will go on for these 2 years, which is starting from now. So it will be in, over on 2028 August. That is starting now. So, okay, so let me share. Okay, so this document all of you will be receiving, or you might have received this document. This is ISKCON Kanpur Bhakti Shastri Course Student Handbook. So have you received, all of you, this booklet?
No,
Okay, so
Prabhuji.
Anand Kripakish Prabhu will be sharing this with all of you. This contains all the information which I am telling. So even if you have some confusion, you can always go back and see to this student handbook. It has everything. It has everything which you need. Okay. So I will just show you where you will get what. So this is Bhakti Shastri Course Student Handbook for ISKCON Kanpur. So if you go, then Prabhupada there are quotes from Prabhupada in the beginning, that why this Bhakti Shastri course is very important. So this is letter to Bahurup. So I'm just reading some of the quotes which Prabhupada is given. In my books, the philosophy of Krishna consciousness is explained fully. So if there is anything which you do not understand, then you simply have to read again and again. By reading daily, the knowledge will be revealed to you, and by this process, your spiritual life will develop. So this is a content. Srila Prabhupada and Bhakti Shastri systematic study, that will see course in, course overview, Bhakti Shastri assessment, how the assessment will be done. Then unit is divided into uh, 9 units. There we have divided the course into 9 units. Unit 1 will be chapter 1 to 3 of Bhagavad Gita. Then unit 2 is chapter number 4 to 6. Then unit 3 is 7, 8, 9. And unit 4 is 10, 11, 12. Unit 5 is 13, 14, 15. And unit 6 is 16, 17, 18. So like this, there are units which are defined. Unit 7 will be nectar of devotion. Unit 8 will be nectar of instruction. And unit 9 will be Shri Ishwapun itself. So this is how this course is designed. So this is a Prabhupada writing letter. Yes, Avil Bro, can you read? I wish to encourage. Avil Bro, Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada on Bhakti Shastri and systematic study. I wish to encourage all my disciples to very carefully learn this philosophy. In January of 1970, we will be holding an examination among all of our students on this book, and those who will pass shall be awarded with the title of Bhakti Shastri. And with this examination, I wish to encourage all my disciples to very carefully learn this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, because there is so many preachers who will be required to bring this message to all of the corners of the earth.
Oh, Jai, thank you. So this idea is in 1970. Can you see? 1966, 1965, he reached 1966, he started ISKCON, and then 1969 almost end. This is January of 1970. And he's writing a letter of in 1969. This letter is of 1969, 7th February. So from that time, Prabhupada wanted to start this Bhakti Shastri. So it's very nice that we are following the instructions of our founder Acharya. Mhm. And then Prabhupada says, become all good preachers and that will deepen on studying the books nicely. So Prabhupada says, I will never die, I will live in my books. Mhm. I want that all my spiritual sons and daughters inherit this title of Bhakti Vedanta. So this is of 3rd January 1969, where he's writing this. So Prabhupada, how much he had a feeling all of that we do this Bhakti Shastri, and we qualify it and we read his books very nicely. So these are the various themes you might have studied yesterday, so I'm not taking it. Hmm. So course overview, this will be seen. So this is the chapter division which we are having, which I told you. These are the number of lessons will be there in each. Unit 1 and 2 will be around 28 to 36 lessons. Unit 3 and 4 will be 20 to 28 lessons. 5 and 6 will have 16 24 lessons. Nectar of devotion will have 20 28 sessions. Shiva Upanishad and Nectar of instruction will have 24 to 32 sessions. So all this will happen in 2 years. Okay. So study materials, what you will have is you will have Bhagavad Gita as it is, Nectar of devotion, Nectar of instruction, and Shiva Upanishad will be, which is with all of you. You can take it. And from, I think, from the organizing team, you will also be getting Subodhinis of all these four. So I think mostly in the Shara camp, they will be providing you with Subodhinis of these all four books. Bhagavad Gita Subodhini, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, and Shiva Upanishad. Those who have registered now, previous batch have already received. And those who are again doing re Bhakti Shastri. But those who are newly joining Bhakti Shastri, they will be receiving these four booklets also. Bhagavad Subodhini. And Bhakti Shastri Student Handbook, that is this PDF, which contains all the information that also will be in soft copy. You'll be getting. In additionally, you can also go through Surrender Unto Me, which is available online in Vedabase, and Srila Prabhupada quotes books, uh, which is Srila Prabhupada lectures on Bhagavad Gita is also there. There's a book compilation. You may also take it. But this is not provided from organizing team. This is additional material you can refer. Hmm. Okay, so now what we'll have is Bhakti Shastri assessment. So I will show you what all assessments will be there. So if you are able to see this, there will be four things, four kinds of assessments will be done. First is open book assessment. So every unit will have one question which you have to write on your own as in a form of an essay in 1,000 words, and then you have to submit it before the deadline. And then that will be checked. That will be called open book assessment. So it is 65% of your passing marks, and pass marks is 65% in that. And closed book assessment will be online. It will be an online test where you have to give online assessment quiz. You have to solve it. It will have 20% of the overall assessment from there. Then memorization of verses. There will be verses in all the chapters, in all the units, which you have to remember. And then there will be online session where you will be asked to recite those shlokas, recite the meaning of those shlokas. So all those things will be done. Memorization of verses, which will contain 10% of the total marks. Then attendance at temple program is attendance in Bhakti Shastri course. That is Monday, Tuesday's attendance. So that will also be considered. So all these four will together constitute your overall performance in this exam. Open book assessment, closed book assessment, memorization of verses, and your attendance in this program. So Bhakti Shastri certification, after 2 years, you will be receiving a certificate of Bhakti Shastri. You will be known as Bhakti Shastri. Okay. So now, where you will find all this, how to do this? This three, I will explain how to do this three. So that I'm going to explain now. So every chapter, when you go to every chapter, now I'm going to one chapter to show you where you will get all this. Like this is chapter number one, unit number 1 and 2. So after chapter ends, it has a lot of description of unit 1 and 2. A lot of notes are there of units 1 and 2. So after unit 1 and 2 ends, so there you will find Purva Swadhyaya or primarily self-study questions for closed book assessment. If you see this. So these are some practice questions for your closed book. The online test which will be happening. So these are some questions given for each chapters so that you can prepare for your closed book exam. So from here you have to prepare for your closed book. So some questions will be from the purports, some questions will be from the translation, some questions will be from here, from the closed book assessment, which is closed book questions, which is given to you. So this is all the questions. Then there are analogies which Prabhupada gives in Bhagavad Gita. So these analogies will also be asked in exam. Some of these analogies will also be asked. So these analogies will be there. So you have to remember these analogies also and write it. Okay. So this is analogy section for end of each chapter. Then after it gets complete, then you have open book assessment questions. So these are the questions among which one of the questions from each unit will be given as an open book question. So you have list of those open book questions as well. So like this question is there, this question is there. So it will all, among them, one will be there for each unit. You have to solve. You have to write in 1,000 words and then you have to give, submit. And in soft copy, you have to submit it. Okay, so this is your open book assessment. So there are these questions. And after it ends, nahi, so this is closed book and open book. Now, how it will be judged? Open book. So if you go to the starting of this PDF, then this is very important. So here in the starting of your PDF on page number 13, you will find the shlokas which has to be learned for your shloka test. Like unit 1 and 2 is there, these shlokas will be there. So unit 1 and 2 examination will be held in one time only because shlokas are less. So we'll not have separate exam unit 1 and unit 2. We'll have this in just one. One shloka test for unit 1 and 2. Second shloka test will be for unit 3 and 4. Third shloka test will be for unit 5 and 6. Fourth shloka test will be for unit 7, 8, 9. All three combined. So these are the shloka numbers which are given, which we have to memorize. Okay, now how to write open book exam, because that is the most toughest part to do. So here, if you see on page number 10 and 11, they explain, it is explaining how to write a open book question. So first of all, what you need to take care is, whenever a question comes, first you see what is the weightage of each part. Like you see, this was a question given. Present how a pure devotee's passage to the Supreme Abode is guaranteed by devotional service. Give reference to Krishna's statement in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8. So whenever you get a question, see the weightage of each part, because there will be many parts to it. So this weightage will be given to you, provided to you. So weightage of this is 30% of this part, if you see percentage wise. So the first part has 30% weightage. Second part has 70% weightage. That is, give reference to Krishna's statement in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8. So if in your writing, you have to make sure that you mention, you keep a track of your weightage. That's okay. This is I has to mention in 30%. I have to explain this in 30%. This I have to explain as in 70% part. So then you have to give that. So how to write OBG? So see, this was one question, and this is an example of poor response. See here, there's an example of poor response. So he writes it. So there are comments over here, written over here, why it is poor. So if these reasons are found in your answer also, then you'll get less mark. So they have almost tried all reasons which we give. So you see, they have given reason which will be considered a poor answer. Hmm. Okay, so this is what they have given over here. So this is poor response. So he gets only 27%. Hmm. That is, if you see marks wise, it is only 5 marks he gets out of 10. Now, this is a response of example of good response. How to write an OBG is a good response. So these are the just mentioned over here why it is good. So these elements, if it is found in your answer, then it is a good answer. So this is there. You see all the references are there. So once you go through it, you will understand why it is good. You go through the poor response, you go through the right good response, you will understand why it is poor and why it is good. So similarly, you have to write it. So you see how much marks he gets. He gets 8.5 and he gets 9 in this from 10-10. This is from 10-10 they have given. So he gets 89% marks in this answer. So this is good response paper. Okay, so this is open book assessment, which will be after every unit will be given one open book question, and then you have to also appear for closed book. And after unit 1 and unit 2 finishes, then you will have your shloka test. And attendance every day has been noted. Attendance every day has been put. So these are the 3 ways by which the things will be done. Okay, so now any questions by any devotee regarding all this? And we request all devotees to switch on their videos because it helps us to have motivation. Hmm. Yes, all
Hare
devotees can
Krishna
have.
Prabhu.
Yes, who is there?
केशव।
Yes, Keshav Prabhu, बताइए.
तो प्रभु जी जैसे ओवरऑल पासिंग मार्क्स क्या रहे
ओवरऑल
टोटल
65% पासिंग है हर चीज में. 65% मार्क्स इन ओवरऑल एवरीथिंग.
अटेंडेंस में लाइक जैसे अगर वीडियो ऑन ना हो तो क्या मार्क्स कटेंगे ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
ऐसा कुछ तो अभी नहीं है, बट इट विल बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर यू एंड मी ऑल्सो. ऐसा तो अभी तक हमने कुछ किया नहीं है कि वीडियो ऑफ रखने से कुछ होता है. ओके, यस आशीष.
हरे कृष्णा
आशीष, यस प्रभु.
प्रभु जी, जैसे श्लोक वगैरह का अगर जैसे मेंशन करेंगे तो बाय चांस जैसे श्लोक हम लोग लिखते हैं उसमें स्पेलिंग वगैरह गलत हो तो क्या उसके भी मार्क्स कटेंगे क्या?
नहीं नहीं, उसके उतने ज्यादा नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं हो कि तीसरी लाइन कुछ और ही लिख डाली हो, मतलब वही
हाँ,
लाइन होनी चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि 2 लाइन एक श्लोक का फिर 2 लाइन किसी और श्लोक का. ऐसा नहीं, आपको उसी श्लोक का अगर है और ठीक है थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर है चलेगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
ठीक है।
यस नील ब्रो.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Dandavat Pranam. Guruji, so after every unit there will be open book test and closed book test. So there are 9 units, to total 9 open book test and 9 closed book test, right?
करेक्ट.
Okay, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
यस. Clear with everyone? Anything else you would like to ask?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
धन्यवाद प्रणाम.
हाँ प्रभु
चंद्रेश,
जी,
यस ब्रो.
yes, how we get प्रभु जी this PDF प्रभु जी?
This Anant Kripa Prabhu will share with all of you in your group.
Okay,
They will share this material of student handbook. Okay.
okay प्रभु, thank you प्रभु।
Yes, Rohit Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, वो ओपन बुक टेस्ट में तो मतलब एआई का भी मतलब यूज कर सकते हैं जैसे मतलब
हाँ, कई डिवोटीज ने किया था, मैंने उनका रीराइट कर दिया. क्योंकि इतना तो समझ में आता है ब्रो। इतना हम एआई यूज करना सीख गए हैं कि अब जो एआई में लिख रहा है उसका समझ में आ जाता है। इतने इतनी अच्छी इंग्लिश तो नहीं हो सकती अपने वक्तों की। तो एआई का समझ में आ जाता है। तो एक्चुअली वी गेट टू नो एआई से लिखा है या किससे लिखा है। और फिर हम उनसे बोलते हैं प्रभु ये आपने एआई से लिखा है क्या, फिर बोलते हैं हाँ प्रभु जी थोड़ा सा यूज कर लिया था हमने। मैं कहा प्रभु थोड़ा रिराइट कर लीजिए इसको। सो वी 1 to 1 उनसे डील कर लेते हैं हम, जो हमको लगता है कि थोड़ा सा एआई का यूज किया है। लास्ट ईयर भी किया था, बहुत रिराइट गए थे। कईयों को तो हमने जीरो भी कर दिया था क्योंकि पूरा ही एआई से था। तो हमने जीरो कर दिया। तो अपनी आप अंडरस्टैंडिंग से लिखिए, व्हेन यू आर हियरिंग सो मच देन यू कैन हैव लॉट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, यू राइट ऑन योर ओन, यू विल गेट गुड मार्क्स इफ यू राइट ऑन योर ओन। Yes, true. Done? Okay, so thank you so much. So this was that. Any questions in between also you come, you can always ask Anand Kripa Vishpru. He will be coordinating this whole course for this batch. Hmm. So one previous batch got over. Now we'll be starting for them Bhakti Vaibhav. And so now your batch is starting this. So all the best for this so that you can continue till end. बने रहे है ना एंड तक। ओके, so now we'll be starting our Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so kindly if you have a hard copy of Bhagavad Gita with you, that is best. And I will show less of notes and all, but more I will use Bhagavad Gita in only. Some PPTs and all I will be showing, but mostly if you have Bhagavad Gita with you, that is the best. Okay, so we'll do some prayers to Bhagavad Gita. एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एकस्मन्त्रस्तस्रमान्यानि कर्माणि अपि तस्य देवस्य सेवम्. So there's a Gita Mahatmya written by Adi Shankaracharya. Yes. So we'll just recite those shlokas before starting this auspicious book, seeking blessings of the Lord. So I will just share with all of you. Okay. गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतात्मवान् विष्णुपदं ववाप्नोति भवशोकादिवर्जिता. गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्रणयामापरस्य च नैव शान्तिः पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च. मलिने शोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीतामृतस्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्. गीतासु गीतकर्तव्य किं मन्ये शास्त्रविस्तरे या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिश्रिता. भारतमृत सर्वस्वं विष्णुभक्ताद्विनिश्रितं गीतागन्धोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते. सर्वोपानिषदो गावो दुग्ध्वा गोपालनन्दना पार्थो वत्सा सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतमहान्. एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्रेव एकस्मस्तस्मानि यानि कर्माणि अपि तस्य देवस्य सेवम्. 15 श्री भगवद गीता की 4. So recently I was just hearing one lecture of His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj. So here he was telling about the mood of reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So I will just share some points from it. So he was telling the story of South Indian Brahmana, that he had a realization of Bhagavad Gita where he could see that Krishna is serving his devotee. So after reading Bhagavad Gita, if we get this realization of his Bhakta Vasalya of the Lord, that how much Krishna is very loving his devotees. So that was the perfection shown by South Indian Brahmana, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved, that you have understood the essence of Bhagavad Gita. How much Krishna loves his devotees. So that is one thing which is repeated in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's love for his devotees. So then Maharaj was telling, Srila Prabhupada purports these are transcendental sound vibration. It is done in English language out of the causeless mercy for the fallen souls. It has the transcendental power of Krishna manifest in these books like no other way because of the content of compassion. So he says this very nice thing, that transcendental power of Krishna manifest in these books like no other way because the content of compassion. All the potencies of the previous acharyas are coming through him. Plus, it is coming from the most compassionate acharya. Potency of the whole parampara coming through Srila Prabhupada books. Full potency of whole Sanskrit Vedas and more is coming to those who read Srila Prabhupada books. Hearing this message is the perfection of life. So he says this very, very powerful statement. This message is so potent that it can deliver us from all miseries. To be eager to hear and to be eager to repeat what we have heard is the real path of salvation. Hearing. So Maharaj was telling how to hear Bhagavad Gita. So he told this very nice thing. Feel the position of Arjuna on the battlefield. He was telling, feel, experience that position of Arjuna when he is hearing Bhagavad Gita. Father died when he was small. Mother is constantly suffering. Elder brothers are constantly suffering. Wife is insulted. He is a leader now. Everything rests upon his shoulders. It is a matter of life and death. Attentive hearing, it's an emergency. Willing to act on it. So that Maharaj was telling that this is how Arjuna heard it. It was very, very attentive hearing, and he was willing to act on what he heard. So this was a short lecture which Maharaj gave on how to hear Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so let us now start. So we have Bhagavad Gita in our hand. So you might have Bhagavad Gita with different photos, but I have a Bhagavad Gita which is a very beautiful photo. And Arjuna is sad and Krishna is seeing very compassionately. His face is very beautiful, Nava Yauvanam, in the beginning. And below we find that Krishna is riding the chariot, is drawing the chariot of Arjuna into the middle of the army. So that's the photo over here. That's the first photo. So if you begin, now the first page is a critics praise Bhagavad Gita as it is. If you read the first page, there are many scholars who have appreciated Bhagavad Gita. Like the first one, which is mentioned over here, is of Dr. Thomas J. Homson, Chairman, Department of Religious Studies, Franklin and Marshall College. How many of you have ever read this? कभी पढ़ा है इसको पहले पेज को? अच्छा, अविल प्रू ने पढ़ा है critics. ठीक है. Okay. So our task is to read Bhagavad Gita page to page, cover to cover. Okay. So there are these are critics, and they have written very, very nice things. You may read it about Bhagavad Gita. So then he writes about others also. Okay. So now next page comes is the first thing. The first page which comes is it is written Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's written Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita as it is. So why Gita is known as Gita Upanishad? Can anybody tell what you have heard? Why it is called Gita Upanishad? Yes, any answer from the devotees? Yes, Srinivas Pum.
The Bhagavad Gita came from the mouth of the Lord, so Vedas and Upanishads are concerned. It came directly from Brahma, so like that.
Okay, this is one reason that it is directly spoken by the Lord. Therefore, yes, Amanti Varipu.
Pretty similar kind of like this is Shruti kind of because once Lord has spoken, and second is it is more of theory and very core philosophy instead of examples and pastimes as in Puranas.
Oh,
I think
yes. This is another reason. It has core philosophy. Upanishads has core philosophies. It has core philosophy, therefore. Yes, Sanrathan.
Same means Shruti Shastras are from revelations of God. Bhagavad Gita is directly spoken by the God, so it can be considered as Shruti also. And it is in Shruti Shastras. And it contains the conclusions of all Vedas.
Correct. So this Gita, so I will just show one. So why it is called Gita Upanishad? Prabhupada introduces it as Gita Upanishad. And why this is called Gita Upanishad? So Gita forms a part of Mahabharata. Gita forms a part of Mahabharata. So if you see from a point of view of its origin, because Prabhupada said, yes, because Prabhupada said, yes, many others said, it's not just Prabhupada. So there are two Shruti and there is Smriti. So Shruti, they are revealed scriptures. They are like words of gods, and it is revealed. And Smriti is those which are remembered, written down by sages, and it mainly contains pastimes of the Lord, which is remembered. Mm. So these are the two categories. So now Bhagavad Gita is a very, very special book because it comes under both categories. It comes under Shruti, Smriti. Why? Because it is a part of Mahabharata. But because it is directly spoken by Lord, therefore it's also Shruti. Direct words of the Lord. Therefore it's called Shruti also. So why is called Upanishad? Bhagavad Gita contains essential teachings on all Upanishads. So all Upanishads will talk about Atma, Bhagwan, Prakriti, Karma, reincarnation, Moksha. So all these topics are mentioned in Gita. All these topics are mentioned in Gita. Therefore, it is also a part of the Upanishads. Secondly, if there is a traditional evidence which comes as when you read Bhagavad Gita at the end of each chapter, like I have this Gita Gorakhpur's Bhagavad Gita. At the end of each Bhagavad chapter, it says, Iti Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishados Stuti Brahma Vidyam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Like chapter 1 ends like this. Here also it is mentioned about Gita being an Upanishad, Gita Upanishato. So that it is another there. Then another thing which is mentioned is by Sripad Shankaracharya in when he glorifies Bhagavad Gita. There also he mentions that as essence of Upanishads is Gita. Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dugdva Gopala Nandana Partho Vasa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Amrit Mahan. So this is another thing which is mentioned by Sripad Shankaracharya regarding Gita as the essence of Upanishads that he establishes. Another thing, while all other Upanishads are dialogues between sages and disciples mainly, Bhagavad Gita is a unique Upanishad which is directly spoken by Lord. Directly spoken by Lord. So therefore it is also known as Gita Upanishad. Now when you go to traditional Upanishads, like there's a Muntika Upanishad which mentions about 108 names of Upanishad. It mentions about 108 names. So these are 108 names of the Upanishads which are mentioned in this Upanishad. So in this list you will find Gita Upanishad. That's not the list over here. So when it talks about 108, you will not find the list of Gita Upanishad over here. But Gita Upanishad is the only book which is accepted by all the scholars as the base book for all the Upanishads. It's like Gita Upanishad, they named it. So even if you have to go to Mayavadis, if you have to go to any person, nobody will reject Gita. So if you want to quote from Srimad Bhagavatam, there's no Smriti, will not take it from there. But if you quote from Gita, and therefore for ISKCON, the base book is Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada always quotes his philosophy from Bhagavad Gita because it's the one which is accepted everywhere. In all circles, learned circles, Gita is accepted as standard book. They have different interpretations. That is all right. They will have different interpretations. But Gita as a standard book, nobody can deny that. So we find this why this is known as Gita Upanishad. Therefore, Prabhupada at the beginning he is writing it as Gita Upanishad in the first page. Gita Upanishad is the essence of all Upanishads. Now in the next page, then we have this complete catalog of Prabhupada book which is written over there. Then Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Next page is there. Second edition. It is written over here. Second edition, revised and enlarged. So what do you mean by this second edition? कुछ श्लोक ऐड कर दिए हैं क्या इसमें? कभी गिना है किसने ये 700 श्लोक हैं या नहीं? एनीवन है? इसमें कितने श्लोक हैं? 700 गिना है? किसने गिना है? ये 700 श्लोक ही हैं इसमें. हम बोलते रहते हैं ना प्रभु जी 700 श्लोक वाली गीता है हमारी. गिना है किसी ने? नहीं गिना? ओके ठीक है. तो सेकेंड एडिशन रिवाइज एंड इनलार्ज क्यों लिखा है? इसको रिवाइज किया गया मतलब क्या किया गया? और enlarged. Okay, so now you go to the last page. I will tell you the page number. The secret of this is mentioned in the end of Bhagavad Gita. So if you go to, this is page number 756. Page number 756 of Bhagavad Gita. 756 means in my Bhagavad Gita. It is a note from the second edition. Appendix's first page. Got?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, see. A note from the second. Why it is called second edition? What is there? For the benefit of readers who have become familiar with the first edition of Bhagavad Gita as it is, a few words about the second edition seem in order. Although in most respects the two editions are the same, the editors of Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust have gone back to the oldest manuscript in their archives to make it the second edition even more faithful to Srila Prabhupada's original work. Now they are telling what is the second edition. Srila Prabhupada finished Bhagavad Gita as it is in 1967, 2 years after he came from India to America. The Macmillan Company published an abridged edition in 1968 and the first unabridged edition in 1972. So we'll see what this book means. Current Prabhu is telling in my book only 644 pages are there. Prabhu, you don't have as it is Bhagavad Gita then. 644 बता रहा है वो. अच्छा ठीक है हरि के बाबू इज टेलिंग उसको बोलो है उसके पास. ठीक है. So now what this second edition means, so now if you see they will write that Prabhupada words they are understanding now. They are again hearing Prabhupada lectures, what Prabhupada recorded, what Prabhupada wrote, again they are reading it and then they are making it more closer to what Prabhupada said. So that is second edition. So if you read it, they will tell what work they are doing for what work they have done in second edition. So now I will tell you something about what is written over here about 67, 68 and 72. What all happened with this Bhagavad Gita? So by which this Bhagavad Gita came. Okay. So now we'll be going to history of this Bhagavad Gita. Ready? How this Bhagavad Gita came. Okay. So let us go to the history. I'll just share my notes. Okay. So we are going into a little bit with this history of Bhagavad Gita, how this came about. So this is the photo of Bhagavad Gita first time handled by Prabhupada. When Prabhupada got in 1972 his full Bhagavad Gita. So this is the first photo of that. Srila Prabhupada with original Bhagavad Gita as it is, first Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So let us now go ahead. Oh, time is less. Krishna, why it's not moving? Krishna Govinda. Okay. Okay, so this is Bhagavad Gita as it is. So this was what I made you read. This is from the note from the second edition. This is there. Macmillan Company published abridged edition 1968. So what do you mean by this abridged edition and unabridged edition? That we'll see now. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada's struggles and journey of publishing Bhagavad Gita as it is. So 1947, Srila Prabhupada wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita in Kolkata. It was 1947. We also heard that he wrote earlier also one, but which was not found. But I could not find its reference in Lilamrit and all. I heard in one of the lectures that he wrote in his household life also before in 1947 also, but I could not find a reference for it. This reference was there in 1947. Srila Prabhupada wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita in Kolkata. 1948, Dr. Alagappa C of Madras agreed to sponsor the printing, but unfortunately the manuscript was stolen and the perpetrator remained unknown. किसी ने उसको चुरा लिया था, खो गया था वो 1948. So this was the first attempt from reference point of view that Srila Prabhupada wrote a Bhagavad Gita whole commentary. Prabhupada says this was around 1,000 pages he wrote this. This was around 1,000 pages which he wrote a complete Bhagavad Gita which was stolen. 1955 again in Vanaprastha time in Radha Damodar temple, Delhi, Vrindavan, when he was roaming around, Srila Prabhupada wrote a new commentary on Gita from 1955 to 1965, which he took to America. But he did not publish it in India. It was not complete that time. He published the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam there before going to America. In 1966, Srila Prabhupada's belongings, including his typewriter, tape recorder, and book bag, were stolen in New York. So these things were stolen. So some we don't know the exact references, not even whether Bhagavad Gita was also stolen or some pages were stolen. Something was stolen for sure. No, because he could not complete it by 1966. 1967 in San Francisco, Srila Prabhupada completed his 1,000-page commentary titled Bhagavad Gita Address. So 1967 he had the manuscript ready for whole Bhagavad Gita. 1967 in San Francisco, he had it ready. Now he wants a printer who can print it. So what happened? So there are magics now which will happen now through Bhagavad Gita. Let's see. So in 1966, a happening album came by the name 1966 Happening Album Krishna Consciousness, like this. So this was the photo of the album. So if you know the album, this is disc is there, round disc. So there's a front side, and then again you have to reverse it to play it. हमारे पहले टेप आता था, टेप, तो टेप को निकालते थे हम ऐसे, फिर वो पलट करके फिर लगा देते थे। तो ऐसे प्रभात ने भी किया था। सो प्रभात का न्यूज में आया था यहाँ पर। तो ये हैपनिंग एल्बम बना था प्रभात का 1966 में, जहां पर कीर्तन था। तो इसको जरूर सुनना चाहिए। तो प्रभात को ये बहुत अच्छा लगा था। तो ये कैसे प्रोड्यूस हुआ था? क्यों मैं बता रहा हूँ, क्योंकि इसकी हिस्ट्री रिलेटेड है भगवत गीता से। The first Hare Krishna record album produced 1966 by Alan Kalman in New York. Mr. Kalman, a record producer, he was a record producer. He met Srila Prabhupada in 1966, inspired by them. 22nd Avenue they met. He said, let us make a record. So then the evening has to come where recording was there. Srila Prabhupada did a Harinam Sankirtan in Times Square Park, and Haigiri playing the big brass drum. If you've seen a video where Haigiri proves a big drum and he's beating like this, and devotees had kartals. So they reached the studio, they practiced. Sound engineer told that there were too many kartals, so which was reduced, and he gave them sticks to play. अगर आपने उस रिकॉर्डिंग को ध्यान से सुना होगा, जो प्रपात कीर्तन करते हैं उसमें स्टिक बज रहे हैं, करताल कम बज रहे हैं, स्टिक ज्यादा बज रहे हैं। वो स्टिक दिए थे इन्होंने। सो ऐसे करके तो प्रपात ने उसको प्ले किया। तो क्या था उसमें? स्टार्टिंग फर्स्ट पार्ट में 12 मिनट्स का प्रपात का कीर्तन था। सेकेंड पार्ट में प्रपात ने गुरु अष्टकम गाया और प्रपात ने परपट बोला मंत्रा को। तो अगर आपने कभी वैष्णव सॉन्ग बुक देखा है, वैष्णव सॉन्ग में हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र के बाद एक लिखा हुआ है वहां पर प्रपात का मीनिंग ऑफ हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र करके। सो दैट केम फ्रॉम हियर व्हाट प्रपात स्पोक द परपट ऑफ मंत्रा इन हैपनिंग एल्बम। सो वो जो रिकॉर्डिंग है वही वैष्णव सॉन्ग बुक में हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र का मीनिंग है। सो देन इट वाज रिकॉर्डेड एंड एवरीथिंग वाज डन। So, but there was a delay in production, but when it came out, it was sold like anything. It was happening very, very quickly sold. And Beatles also received one copy of that, which George Harrison says later. So I was hearing Vamshivadan Prabhu was telling a very nice thing. Everything happened by chanting. Everything happened by chanting. This record of Prabhupada, where all it went, wherever it went, it created revolution. It was simple chanting by Srila Prabhupada. So this is Hare Krishna mantra. So I have also placed recording over here. So we don't have time, otherwise I would have played it. So Prabhupada Hare Krishna chant over here, 15 minutes. Then Prabhupada gives the purport to Hare Krishna Mahamantra on the other side of the disc, which is 4 minutes 52 seconds. And then he chants the Samsara Dava for 9 minutes 11 seconds. He chants these things. So these things are there in this record. So now what happened by this record? How Bhagavad Gita's history is related to this record? The Macmillan Miracle. So you see, Prabhupada is very, very happy with his books. So sometimes he used to give lectures with books in front. This is my treasure. This is my treasure. So let's see what happened. So in 1967, he gave he was ready with a manuscript of over 1,000 pages. He wants somebody to publish it. He approached Allen Ginsberg's and that you kindly print this book. Allen Ginsberg tried, but he could not do it. Then Prabhupada gave the manuscript to Raya Ramadas, who was at Brahmachari at that time. So he also approached many printing houses, but nobody was ready to print Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita because it was a religious book. People said ki, why I should get this book. So then nobody printed. So now one day what happened? Brahmanand Prabhu came. This was 26 Second Avenue, and he was meeting Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, so he says, I did not know anything about publishing, but Prabhupada put the manuscript in my hand, saying, "You must get this published." So I knew what I had to do. So he tried and going to many places, but he was also unsuccessful. So around this time, they released the Happening album. Happening album was going everywhere. So they were receiving many orders that please give us this record, please give us this record. So they were sending it. So what was their method? Anything they get, like a request that I should get this record, they used to mail it and parcel it. They used to parcel it. They never used to go. But one day, one request came from one special person. So there was an request, an order from Macmillan Company, a person from Macmillan Company. And this was one of the biggest publishers in the world. So then Brahmanand Prabhu went and told Prabhupada, okay, Prabhupada, this is how an order has come from Macmillan Company for your record. So then Prabhupada told this very emphatic statement. Do not mail out this order as you do with others. Instead, bring the order to Macmillan's offices and deliver it to the person who sent us the letter. तो उन्होंने ब्रह्मानंद प्रभु को बोला पर्सनली जाओ देने के लिए ये रिकॉर्ड उनको और मिलो उनसे. बोला ठीक है. एंड देन यू टेल हिम, प्रभात के स्टेटमेंट से डायरेक्ट, when you deliver the album, Prabhupada continued, tell them that you are a disciple for Guru from India and that he has translated the Bhagavad Gita. They will publish it, do not worry. Brahmanand was stunned. Prabhupada seemed so confident. There was no doubt the book would get published, and by Macmillan, that could not do much better than that. So इतने कॉन्फिडेंस से प्रभुपाद ने बोला, ब्रह्मानंद प्रभु भी आश्चर्य में थे कि ये क्या हो गया. वो बोले कि ऐसा स्टेटमेंट बोलना. सो ब्रह्मानंद प्रभु अगले दिन जाते हैं और देखते हैं जहां पर ये बुलाया गया था मैकमिलन कंपनी का जो ऑफिस था, वहां पर वो गए तो उन्होंने देखा कि अरे ये तो क्लर्क ने बुलाया है, ये क्लर्क ने ऑर्डर दिया यहाँ के. बोले अरे यार, ये मैं क्या क्या सोच के आया था, दिया तो एक क्लर्क ने ऑर्डर दिया है. ठीक है, दे ही देता हूँ, मेरा ड्यूटी है वो. सो उन्होंने क्लर्क को वो रिकॉर्ड दिया. तभी वहां पर एक यंग मैन आ गया. एक यंग मैन, वो भी अपना वहां पर मिल उठाने आया था. वहां पर वो स्टोर हाउस टाइप का कुछ तो था जहां पर कलेक्ट करते थे सब. तो वहां पर वो उठाने आया. जैसे क्लर्क ने देखा उस यंग पर्सन को, उसने बोला, दिस इज जेम्स ओ शेन वेड, आवर सीनियर एडिटर. बोलिए हमारे सीनियर एडिटर है इस कंपनी के. जेम्स वेड नाम था उनका. तो ब्रह्मानंद प्रभु एकदम शॉक हो गए कि सीनियर एडिटर यहाँ पर आ गया है. तो ब्रह्मानंद प्रभु ने आंखें बंद किया और जो प्रभात एज इट इज बोल दिया. I am a disciple of Guru from India. He has translated Bhagavad Gita as it is. As it is, बोल दिया ब्रह्मानंद प्रभु ने. It told. And what? Wade responded ingressively. We have just published a full line of spiritual books and we are looking for Bhagavad Gita to fill out the set. हरि बोल. बोले अरे यही तो हम ढूंढ रहे हैं, मेरे को भगवत गीता चाहिए थी हमको. ब्रह्मानंद's mouth dropped open. क्या? And he contemplated the potencies of Prabhupada. उनको वर्ड याद आए, will publish it, do not worry. And फिर वेड ने बोला कि आप वो मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट कर ले आइए, हम उसको पब्लिश करेंगे. फिर ब्रह्मानंद प्रभु वापस गए प्रभुपाद को ये खुशखबरी दिलाने की, प्रभुपाद हो गया. एंड प्रभुपाद कुछ भी रिस्पॉन्स नहीं दिया, एकदम शांत. प्रभुपाद was nonchalant, as though he knew that it would transpire before it happened. ऐसा था कि प्रभुपाद को जैसे पता था ये सब होने वाला है. सो अगले दिन प्रभुपाद मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट लेके गए मैकमिलन कंपनी के पास. और फिर वेड शेड अपनी मेमोरी बताते हैं कि कैसे प्रभुपाद को देखकर उनको अलग ही फील हुआ पर्सन. सो दैट ही गेट एन एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ दैट. So this was James Wade was a senior editor at Macmillan 1965 to 1969. But in few years at their office, he made a history by publishing a pure devoted edition of Bhagavad Gita. A abridged version came out first in 1968. So abridged version क्या होता है? उन्होंने देखा भगवत गीता 1000 पेजेस की है, तो उन्होंने बोला इतना बड़ा हम प्रिंट नहीं कर सकते, नहीं पॉपुलर होगा नहीं होगा, तो उन्होंने सिर्फ 4 प्रिंट किए। तो उन्होंने बहुत सारे परपट हटा दिए प्रपात के, बहुत सारे पेजेस। तो प्रपात को बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लगा, लेकिन एटलीस्ट कुछ तो प्रिंट आ गया था। लेकिन जब देखा कि भगवत गीता इतनी पॉपुलर हो रही है कि हर कोई ले रहा है, तब मैकमिलन ने बोला कि हम 1000 पेज वाली भगवत गीता निकालेंगे। सो दैट इज कॉल्ड अनब्रिज भगवत गीता विच केम इन 1972. सो 14th August 1972 commemorates the historic publication of Bhagavad Gita as it is, a landmark in spiritual literature and cultural heritage. So this was the day when Bhagavad Gita came, full Bhagavad Gita. Earlier there was a small Bhagavad Gita published. So this is the first printing in 1968 Bhagavad Gita abridged edition, which has only 400 pages. So Bhagavad Gita as it is, a new translation with commentary by Swami A.C. Bhaktivedanta, with appreciation by Alan Gilbert, Device Levitt and Thomas Merton. और ये उसका last page था भगवद गीता का. So this was the first Bhagavad Gita which came out, abridged edition 1968. Then 1972, this was the unbridged Bhagavad Gita, full Bhagavad Gita, Macmillan produced Bhagavad Gita as it is. 1972, it came out, which we have currently now. Is this Bhagavad Gita as it is? Okay, so that's how Bhagavad Gita came to be with us, what we have today now. Haribol! This was a history of Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, it is written over here, second edition. What we have is second edition of this Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, I have some pages of the 1968 Bhagavad Gita. So I will just show you that also. Introduction pages. Introduction pages of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, let me see where it is. Okay, I'm not getting it. When I get it, I will show you on your group. You can see the first few pages of the original Bhagavad Gita, which was the 1968 Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so we have only 5 minutes. Let us see. So the first page was revised and enlarged with original Sanskrit text, Roman translation, English equivalent, translation, and elaborate purports by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. And then Prabhupada next, he writes, to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, who presented so nicely the Govind Bhash commentary on Vedanta philosophy. So I hope all of you know this pastime of Baldev Vidyabhushan having his debate in Jaipur, where he protected our Sampradaya and he presented Govind Bhash. So this Bhagavad Gita which Prabhupada wrote, most of the purports will have commentaries from Baldev Vidyabhushan. So when he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, he took more commentaries from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But when he wrote Bhagavad Gita, more part is from Baldev Vidyabhushan. So therefore, over here, he is presenting his gratitude to Baldev Vidyabhushan. So he took something from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and other acharyas also. But primarily the translation and the purports are from Baldev Vidyabhushan. The way, the logic which Baldev Vidyabhushan has given in those translations, the same is picked up by Srila Prabhupada. So therefore, Prabhupada is writing over here to Baldev Vidyabhushan. Okay, so then you will have the contents. So the speaker which will come, first speaker, he will explain the contents, how that they are divided, contents which are divided. So there are 18 chapters to Bhagavad Gita. Now, if you come to page number 13 in Roman, X11, it is setting the scene which is given by the publishers. So it is a story how Bhagavad Gita, what is the situation when Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So it talks about the pastime, how Dhritarashtra and Pandu was there. Pandu died, and then Kunti Maharani was there. Then she has to live with 5 children. Then there was Duryodhan who wanted to kill them, and Krishna protected them. Then they went to the forest, returned back. They asked for 5 villages. They did not give. Then there was Krishna as a peace messenger. He went, but they did not agree. Then the war was inevitable. And then in between the war, then this Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So on the page number X15, X1V, that is 14th from Roman, in the last paragraph, the commenters, the publishers are writing a very nice statement. We can read that. The general pattern translators have followed in rendering Bhagavad Gita into English have been a brush aside the person Krishna to make room for their own concept and philosophies. The history of Mahabharata is taken as quaint mythology, and Krishna becomes a poetic device for presenting the ideas of some anonymous genius, or at best, he becomes a minor historical personage. So they are telling over here that most of the other commentaries, they don't consider Krishna as God. And then they are writing this very important line. But the person Krishna is both the goal and the substance of Bhagavad Gita as far as Gita speaks of itself. So this is what is very, very important line. But the person Krishna is both the goal and the substance of Bhagavad Gita. Through Bhagavad Gita, we want to reach Krishna, and through Bhagavad Gita, we want to know Krishna. And that is what is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. No, there is no other goal of Bhagavad Gita. This is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So now we have preface. So preface is also very important. We'll cover it next time, next Monday. So what you can do, you can read the preface, and you have to, this is the homework for all of you. What aspects of Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission is revealed in preface? That you have to find out. Which statements over here shows you the Prabhupada's mood? That is a mood of a Vaishnava. And which statements shows the mission aspect of Prabhupada? So this preface written by Srila Prabhupada itself. So if you go, Prabhupada wrote this preface on 12th May 1971 in Sydney, Australia, before this Ambridge version was going to come. So Prabhupada personally wrote this preface. So very important preface. So you have to find these two things in the preface. What is the mood of a Vaishnava, which Prabhupada is highlighting through his preface, and what is the mission of a Vaishnava? Mission statements. So that you have to find out. We'll study those two aspects from this preface. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Thank you. Any 1 or 2 minutes questions, if anybody has? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your patient hearing. And thank you so much for joining this Bhakti Shastri course. I pray to Lord that you continue this throughout. Hare Krishna. Yes, Parthu.